Now, in the next phase, we will enter the mesmerizing world of how universes are created, the physics of multiverses. As Guruji has said, Rigved is the spirituality of everything and nothing. Rigved is the physics of everything and nothing. Rigved is the mathematics of everything and nothing. Rigved tells you how universes are cyclically created through conformal cyclical cosmology, and how universes themselves are a link in the infinite matrix of infinite number of multiverses. This all we will realize through Nasadiya Suktam. So to answer the next set of questions, Guruji, how was this entire universe created? Guruji, does Rigved explain the physics, the mathematics, the spirituality of the creation of universe? Is there only one universe? Are there infinite universes? Guruji, what is the rahasya of existence itself? For that, come, let us do a deep dive of Nasadiya Suktam, Rigved 10:129. Nasadiya Suktam gives us the profound Tatva of creation and existence, the eternal, infinite, divine energy that pervades all infinite verses, all infinite number of multiverses, of which a universe is but a very minuscule, infinitely small part. How it is created, the physics of it, the maths of it, the spirituality of it. So let us begin. As we all know, Rigved is to be chanted, not read. So we begin. Nasadasin no sadasit tadanim Nasidrajo no vyoma paro yat. Now there can be two kinds of profound translations to it. One kind of translation is at that time. Now, which is that time? Remember, it is that infinite line where infiniteness is also reaching to its limit, and zero, that is the beginning of the creation, is also taking birth from that line of limit. We will explain it in great detail when I explain to all of you the concept of conformal cyclical cosmology, the concept of conformal scaling. Conformal scaling is a profound mathematical concept which explains how there are quantum states where the size changes but the shapes remain the same, because of which towards the end of universe, let us begin with the end of universe to understand the 0th second of creation of universe. We all know when Big Bang takes place, from 0 second to 10 raised to the power minus 43 second is the Planck epoch, which is not yet understood by our physicists. It is such a state where causality doesn't apply. To understand Planck epoch, we have to first master quantum gravity. We have to integrate quantum mechanics with relativity. We are a long way away from it. So that 0th second after which Planck epoch begins, what happens just before and just after that? To understand that, we have to understand conformal scaling. Please understand Nasadiya Suktam. is the spirituality of conformal scaling, is the physics of conformal scaling, and is the mathematics of conformal scaling. When at the level of infinity, size changes, shape remains the same, which gives birth to a state of quantum superposition, where from a state of absolute no matter, matter starts originating. Please understand, it's a very profound concept. When the quantum state of the end of universe is reached, it is exactly the quantum state required for the birth of universe. So what happens at the end of universe? When the last star in the universe dies, there is a long phase of only black holes devouring everything. Then comes a phase towards the end when black holes itself evaporate into photons, and the photons are so dispersed that there is no interaction among them. At that absolute state of masslessness, at that absolute state of no matter, when it is absolutely cold, dark, nothing, that it gives birth to the quantum state of extreme heat and extreme density of matter. This is conformal scaling. When infinite reaches to its stretch of limit, zero takes place. The birth of zero, the beginning of the creation takes place. The quantum state reached at the very, very, very end of annihilation of universe is the exact quantum state that is required for the origin of universe. Because when it is absolutely dark, cold, nothing, it is also extremely hot, dense quantum state. After which, for the first 10 raised to the power minus 43 second, you have Planck epoch. Then you have a state where there is a hodgepodge of all kind of elementary elements. And then after tremendous cooling, you see the birth of first long living matter elements, that is quarks, which then gives birth to protons and neutrons, the first long living elementary particle. Then we know the journey. Protons and neutrons give birth to atoms, atoms to molecule, molecule to matter, then the universe, the way we see. Then finally, when the last star dies, it is the era of black holes again, who devour everything. Then finally, black holes itself evaporate, only photons are left. They are so dispersed that again there is a state of absolute cold, dark, nothing, which because of conformal scaling gives birth to a phenomena known as conformal cyclical cosmology. Absolute nothing is required to give birth to something. Let me give you an example so that you can understand this state of physics. We all know that vacuum is supposed to be the ideal state of nothing. But it is well established that vacuum has tremendous physical activity going on, because vacuum is made up of energy fluctuations. And it is well proven that these energy fluctuations give birth to matter, which immediately dissolve back to energy fluctuation. Similarly, the vacuum space-time also gives birth to something from nothing. In fact, if we go one step behind, the space-time itself becomes quantum vibrations. When causality no longer applies itself during the Planck epoch, and this cycle continues ad infinitum again and again. From nothing, something is born. that something expands and becomes the universe, which one day collapses. The last star dies. Black holes devour everything. Black holes themselves evaporate. Only photons are left highly dispersed. From that cold, dark nothing, again something is born. Because that quantum state of cold, dark nothing also is the quantum state of extreme heat and denseness, from which again the creation begins. And this loop is ad infinitum continuum. On top of it, this is happening to every universe, which is part of the infinite matrix containing infinite number of multiversal systems. So, this physics of everything and nothing, this physics of infinite and zero, this physics of ananta and shunya, this mathematics of everything and nothing, this mathematics of ananta and shunya, this spirituality of everything and nothing, this spirituality of ananta and shunya, this spirituality of infinite and zero, whose vibrations are expressed in the form of what you know as mathematics. That is the reason Srinivas Ramanujam, a great Hindu Vedic practitioner of mathematics, used to say, a mathematical equation has no meaning for me until and unless it is representing a thought of the God. This endless ad infinitum, creation and dissolution, represented by conformal scaling, is that thought of the God. To that state where one annihilation of universe is giving birth to another has been explained as Nasadasin no sadasit tadanim nasidrojo no vyoma paroyat. There was neither non-existence nor existence, neither infinite nor zero, neither annihilation nor birth, neither matter nor space. That is the description of that point where the annihilation of one universe has completed and the birth of the next is about to begin. That absolute zero is being explained as Na sadasin no sadasit tadanim na sidrajo no vyoma paroyat. There was neither non-existence nor existence, neither matter nor space, neither infinite nor zero at that absolute zero. After which Planck epoch begins and then the journey begins. It is ad infinitum, continuum. It is the same for every universe, which is part, and every universe is part of this matrix of infinite number of multiverses. The next shloka of Nasadiya Sukta says, Kimavarivaha kuha kasya sharman ambhaha kim asid gahanam gabhiram. What covered it? Where was it? Who protected it? What was its purpose? Who was the master of the cosmic water, that is space plasma? Or, easily put, this all-pervading, all-governing, eternal, infinite, divine energy, you can call it cosmic water, you may call it space plasma, which is always there. For example, Higgs explained that there is something known as Higgs field. When the elementary particles eat into the Higgs field, they gain mass. Similarly, almost similarly, there is this eternal, infinite, divine energy, which we call as Parameshwar, Bhagwan, God, as per the spiritual physics of Hinduism, which is always there, which is eternal, which is infinite, which is the very fabric of all the infinite multiverses. That eternal, infinite, divine energy, that Mahadev, that Mahavishnu, that Parameshwar, that Bhagwan, he is being worshipped by Nasadiya Sutras. What covered it? What glory! It covers itself. Where was it? It was always there where it is, because it is infinite. Who protected it? It protects itself. What was its purpose? Its infiniteness is its purpose. Its eternality is its purpose. Who was the master of the cosmic water, the space plasma? The infinite is the master of the infinite. The infinite gives birth to the infinite. The infinite is ever transcending itself. The infinite contains infinite number of finites in itself. The infinite is ever evolving, eternal, infinite, and it has the prowess to manifest its essence through infinite number of finites. That is how all these infinite universes take shape, take birth. Then Nasadiya Sutra says, Na mrityura siddhamritam, na tarahi, na ratriya, na asit prakitah. There was neither death nor immortality. Why? Because annihilation of one universe is the exact quantum state that is required for the birth of the next universe. It is an ad infinitum continuum process as per the mathematical model known as conformal scaling, conformal, continual, cyclical, ad infinitum cosmology. And all this is part of multiversality also. Hence, at that point of zero, from where everything ended and started simultaneously, the limit of infinity and the birth of zero, at that point, at that absolute zero, there was neither death nor immortality, and nothing to separate night and day. Then, Anidavatam swadhaya tadekam tasmadhyana paraha kim chanasa. The one that existed enclosed in nothingness, the eternal, infinite, divine energy. There was only that one and no other. Tamase tamasa gulham agre praketam salilam sarva idam. Darkness covered darkness. And all this was hidden. Intelligence in water, space, plasma. This eternal, infinite, divine energy contains all darkness and all prakasham, light, luminosity, consciousness and intelligence within itself. As it is infinite, as it is eternal, as it is the reservoir where all universes dissolve and from where all universes take birth. Chena bhava pihitam yadasita tapasastana mahina jayataikam. And the one enclosed in nothing, the one that is infinite and the origin, arose at last from the power of heat, the power of thermodynamics, the power of energy fluctuation. Nataraj Swarup, Mahadeva Swarup, the eternal cosmic dancer who is Nataraj. His eternal cosmic dance is also Nataraj, and the cosmic vibrations produced out of his eternal infinite cosmic dance is also Nataraj, which gives birth to everything that exists, the universe, the cosmos, the energy, the matter, the consciousness. Tamastagre samavartatadhi manasoreta prathamam yadasit. Desire entered. Now, what is this desire? Desire here means life force, soma. Rigved teaches us to harness this power of Somarasa, life force, consciousness. So consciousness was harnessed and the primal seed appeared from the cosmic mind. We can see the beginning of Planck era, the Planck epoch, and we know of Penrose conjunction. The Penrose interpretation is a speculation by Roger Penrose about the relationship between quantum mechanics and general relativity. Penrose proposes that a quantum state remains in superposition until the difference of space-time curvature attains a significant level. Again, the same point. At that absolute zero, the annihilation of one universe was giving birth to the origin of the next. And after the Planck epoch, there was a hodgepodge of elementary particles, quarks, which gave birth to the first long-living matter, neutron and proton, which then gave birth to atom, molecule, up to stars, so on and so forth. This is conformal cyclic cosmology for you. The Nasadiya Sutra then says, Sato bandhum asati niravindam Hridi pratishya tavayo manisha. The wise who search deep within their heart could discern between that which is and that which isn't. Arthat, har anu mein brahmand hai. Every atom contains the same complexity, the same divinity, the same life force as the universe. You know yourself, you know everything. That is the reason such profound concepts of ad infinitum, continuum, conformal, cyclical, cosmology, which our physicists till date are trying to reach at through string theory, M theory, through loop quantum gravity, but are light years away from understanding it. Our rishis, through knowing themselves, knew this Param Tatva, this Param Tatva of ad infinitum, continuum, creation, dissolution, which is part of the infinite matrix of infinite number of multiverses. Tirashchino vitato rashmi raisham adahasvedasedu parisvedasit. From the primal seed sprang crisscross rays, holding all the forces above and below. This is the moment when the four fundamental forces took effect: the strong, the weak, the electromagnetic, and the gravity. This is the entire visual map of the Big Bang and its post-expansion till date. Then Rigved says, Reto dhasan mahimanasan swadha avastat prayati parastat. The strong powers made fertile forces with strength below and impulse above. Here, Rigved is explaining the gravitational, electromagnetic, strong and weak forces, the four fundamental forces. As we know, gravity acts between objects with mass. Weak force governs particle decay. Electromagnetism acts between electrically charged particles, and strong force binds quarks together. Rigved instructs us to discover and harness the prowess of these four fundamental forces and standard model of elementary particles. Further, Rigved instructs us, Ko adha veda kaiha pravokat kuta ajata kuta iyam visrishti. Who can say where all this came from? When you harness the essence of Nasadiya Suktam, when you harness the life force within yourself through Navcharan, Gayatri, MahaSadhana, and when you realize the physics of that absolute zero unto which all universes annihilate unto and from which simultaneous universes take birth, that state where infinity and zero converge, when you realize that state by harnessing the life force within yourself, Through Navcharan Gayatri MahaSadhana, you know from where all this came from and how all this came to be. Further, Rigved says, Aravagdevasya visarjanena kovedayata abhabhuva. Various forms of consciousnesses, the various manifestations of the eternal infinite divine energy came into being only after all this was manifested. So who knows where all this came from? He knows, who has attained absolute, complete God realization at its infinite limit through selfless, fearless, egoless Hindutva Abhiyan sadhana. Then Rigved says, Iyam visrishtir yata ababhuva yadi va tadhe yadi vana. Where did creation have its origin? At absolute zero. Who created it or did not create it? This is the quantum state of understanding, this continuous process of ad infinitum continuum, the quantum stage of annihilation of one universe being the quantum state required for the creation of another. This is the quantum way of looking at it, describing it, and understanding it. Yo asyadhyakshah parame vyomam soanga veda yadivana veda. That one alone perceives all from above, that eternal infinite divine energy, knows the beginning or maybe doesn't. See the beauty of quantum description of the eternal infinite divine energy, which has both the dualistic state of knowing everything and beginning to know everything from scratch. This profound quantum insight and outlook of understanding the infinite as it is critical for us to harness the supreme within ourselves through Navcharan Gayatri Mahasadhana and through selfless, fearless, egoless Hindutva Abhiyan sadhana. Om Namah Shivaya.